Starting live video, it says. Okay, I'm live. I'm live. I'm live. And it's time for coffee, and we have a very special guest. And so we will be getting her on here in a minute. But before we do, I have lots to share. We have there's still time to get in the virtual retreat this weekend. And then, of course, there's the spring intensive. I'm so glad you're here to have coffee with me. I feel like Mr. Rogers. Anyway, sorry. So I'm going to wait for a few people to get on. I can't see a thing, but...
yes, there are lots of people coming on.
Oh, good. Okay. So if you're new to me, my name is Joan Ranquet. I'm an animal communicator, author, TEDx speaker, teacher, and founder of Communication with All Life University. And it is a program for people to learn animal communication or become an animal communicator, to learn energy work for animals, or to become an energy healer for animals. And eventually we will have a really groovy, equally groovy nature and wildlife piece, which we're building out. And so we have the spring intensive coming up, which is 3 days of animal communication, 3 days of EFT tapping, and 3 days of animal communication and healing in sanctuaries. And it's going to be a hybrid this year. Look at me, I've got 2 drinks, water and coffee. It's going to be hybrid, so there will be some people online and some people in person. And if you're going to be in person, you better let them know quickly, because it's gonna sell out. It's gonna sell out, the in-person part. So who's here, Yasmin? I can't see a thing.
We've got 18 people, 19 people, and it's going up. Kaki Decker. Leslie Williams says hi. Loretta Ayakinchi says good morning.
Good morning.
Chris Wilson, hi, good morning. Shannon says hi. Pat DeVolt, hi from Florida. Lorraine, I have coffee too.
Lorraine sent me a great email last night. Lorraine is working very hard on her medical intuition. A lot of people are going to be doing medical intuition and the advanced animal communication, including Ayat and Kaki that are here. So it's a big day. And yeah, we sent out lots of material for people to go over before they start. So
let me ask Julie if she's on, because if she has come on, I cannot see if she's on, but if she could write a comment in the comment box to let us know that she's in the live, and then she can ask.
There she is. Wait, hold on. I see.
Okay, cool.
It was big and bold, but now where'd it go?
Did she send you a request to join?
Her adding. Maybe not. Maybe I just have fat thumbs. There's Katie.
So while she sends something or you work it out.
Oh, wait. She's here. Maybe? Yes, no, maybe.
Yep.
Hang on.
Is she here?
Can you hear me? I'm working on this.
I don't see her commenting. Julie, if you're on, then just say hi in the comments.
All right, we might have to try that again.
Then Joan can add you. Yeah. Wow, that jumped.
Oh, you heard her?
29.
You can hear her. I think I just lost her. So, Julie, can you try it again? There we go. Julie, approve. Adding. No video, trying again. Okay, Julie, bring them on camera. It says adding.
I hear her.
Can you hear her?
No.
All right.
Let's see. It might take a bit of time. We have to be super patient with Facebook.
We have to be patient. Are we still in Mercury retrograde? I think we're at the tail end. We might be in the shadow of it.
I think it's been extended.
Yeah, I think it's been extended too by popular demand. Not. Said nobody ever.
Meantime, tons of people are coming on and saying hi.
Well, who's saying hi?
Let's see. Sandy Ellis, hi, finally able to join.
Oh, good. Oops. There's my house. I'm trying again. Adding.
Julie, make sure that you're on your iPhone or your mobile device, not on your laptop.
Yeah, be on a phone.
Hopefully. Yeah. Oh, Chris says she's looking to be at the spring intensive. Please save a seat. I'm
Okay, your seat's right there. All right, make sure you let assist know.
Yes.
But your chair has your name on it.
Shannon's on the call. Shannon, you're on the call. I know you're on this, girl.
Yeah.
Why don't you, reply to Chris.
The guest declined the live invitation. Julie, I'm not going to take it personally. But I'm hoping that you'll come back. I'll send you another invitation. Okay. It says,
Freezes up. It freezes up when she hits join.
If you're doing this from your phone, you know what I've found is that I don't have, what's it called? I don't do it with, I do it with my data and not.
Yes, not with Wi-Fi. Wow, we've got so many people. Diane Lawson Hicks is here from Prescott, Arizona. Deb Tobin is here from England. She says hi from England.
Hello, England. Hello, Deb. Who else is here?
Shirley Messier said it was a bit difficult to get here, but she's here. So hi, Shirley. That's awesome.
Okay.
35 people. Joan. Hello from Alabama, from Allison. Allison McElroy Benefield. We've got so many peeps from around
the country and the world. Okay, so Julie, can you try it again?
Oh my goodness, and Corinne Graham is here from south of France.
Corinne just joined the big program. And Lena's here. And Lori.
So nice.
Okay, Julie, if you could try again. New York in the house. I love New York.
New York in the house.
And of course, Robin
Hello
from Seattle.
Robin, yes.
And Mark from Jersey. Elaine from Temecula. I love Temecula too. I love Jersey. Yasmin's from Jersey. Okay. Can you try again?
You can tell from my accent, right?
Mm-hmm. It says send her another invite. I don't know how to do that from here. The invite. Let's see, and Charlie from. Good morning, Sandy. There we go, Julie. Hold on. There we go. Add.
She keeps sending you requests. Do you get them, Joan?
I just tried again. Adding. It says adding.
I'm here. I can't see myself either.
Let's see. Are you there? She was there.
She keeps on getting bumped off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Strange. Chris says that she hears her, and Shannon says we can hear her. That's interesting.
Bringing on camera. Great
There.
upgrade.
I hear you.
You can hear me. Yay. I can't see a thing of myself. I can see you.
I can't see you. Is your camera?
There's no camera symbol. There's nothing. I'm on a lowly Android here, but yeah.
If you look down at the bottom, yeah.
Well,
join with video.
it didn't. Well, it said that you were inviting me to join with video, and I accepted, and it made me rotate to horizontal. So, and then it's at full screen, and it won't show anything, even when I tap, as far as options.
Tap it again and see if
Many tappings.
there should be a little. Yeah, we're going to do a new technique called phone tapping.
Phone tapping.
Oh my God, you cracked me up.
Because there should be some little symbols down at the bottom.
Shouldn't there? It seems like there should, and there aren't any.
Oh my! All right.
EFT. We should do EFT for Facebook Live.
I know.
I'm tapping like crazy, and I have tried re-rotating just to see if it'll show me something differently, and instead you just sort of are tipped sideways. So that's not working either.
Try swiping versus tapping.
Try swiping up and down and all around like the sign of the cross.
Yeah, if I slide it left, then I get the chat on my screen, which seems like a positive thing, and I get the share symbol. Seems like, nope.
There she went. Dang. Yes, I think Pat DeWald is correct. We will be having some sort of a technology seminar.
I mean, if I swipe up, it says Joan would like to bring you on camera during the broadcast, and it has a little green, camera symbol with join. So I tap it like I did before, and nothing happens.
Punch it.
So
yeah. Oh, no, it's gone now. That option has been removed. No, swiping up doesn't produce it anymore.
Camera
let's go with voice.
Yeah, Mark says camera is just right of comments.
Camera is just right of comments, except that it isn't. Got an Android there?
Shannon does.
Yeah.
Shannon, what say you?
I have many emoji here, but I'm swiping like crazy. Yeah, it's a different world, the Android world.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm game to talk. It's a shame because I've got the collar on and everything, but hey.
Yeah. Selfie, we'll put it in for sure.
I'll share it so that people can see what she looks like. I'll take it from your Facebook page.
No, okay.
Okay, All right, so we'll just carry on, right? And my phone, uh-oh, she went away again. My phone is sideways a little bit here. You're seeing lots of my finger. Now I don't even see her in the viewers.
Yeah, she's jumped. I wonder if her connection is stable.
That's good. Did I just turn upside down?
Yes, you did now.
Okay.
Now you're the right way around.
All right. There she is.
This is why you go back and you never go back.
Okay, Pat, your vertigo just flared up. Drink some water.
So,
Okay, so it's a black with a green outline of a person to the right of the comment line. If she can hit that next time. Julie, did you hear that?
can you hear me?
I can barely hear you because the phone just fell down.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
There we are. Okay, yes. What were the instructions again from Shannon? Hi, Grace. I was thinking about you the other day. Yeah, what were the instructions?
Shannon says it's a black ball, black dot, with a green outline of a person to the right of the comment line. If she can hit that next time.
I'm so sorry. I know that it seems like I must just be inept, but it is not available on my screen. And I'm wondering if it's something else that's active on my phone that's not interacting well with it. But
Well, we'll just carry on.
yep.
We know that we're going to put a cute picture of you up. And in the meantime, we can hear you. So that's the great news. So Julie Webb is someone that's in the program. She has been in the program for just about a year. You started in January last year, right? You were in the January ACE Level 1?
Uh-huh.
And then jumped into the big program. And so now you're going through a lot of EFT. You're learning all sorts of things. But what's unique about Julie and is very cool is she's actually a pastor. And so I would, I've got lots of questions for you, but I'd love to start with what made you want to become a pastor? And yeah, we'll just start there.
I usually tell people that I got into pastoral ministry kicking and screaming because when I was a kid in my denomination of the Lutheran Church that I grew up in, women started being ordained in 1970. So, and that was, of course, just white women at first, and it took a while for any women of color to get to be ordained. But for most of my life, it was possible to become a pastor, and I just looked at what was involved in pastoring, and I thought you'd have to be crazy, to want to do that. I was a shy person, and speaking in public, preaching, I thought you'd have to lose your head. And then I saw how much responsibility pastors had in the congregation and how, if they fell down on it in any respect, kind of, then they could do real damage. So I thought, why would you want that? But then when I was in college, especially, I guess, some of the people in my campus community really helped me notice where my joy lay, kind of. They noticed how much I enjoyed worship, and then they asked me to plan and lead worship for the whole campus, and all kinds of stuff. So I got to try things out, and I just kept step by step following what made my heart glad, like that Frederick Buechner quote I shared a few
Yeah.
weeks ago, with where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet. That's where your vocation lies. So I never have a 5-year plan. I always just sort of ask inside myself, what's the next best step? And I follow that. And it led me to realizing that I had really been a shepherd of a kind all along, and I just had been afraid to face it. So
That's really cool. So then now, so there's the pastor, Julie, and now the animal communicator, Julie. Tell us how you came to want to be an animal communicator.
well, I've been I've been talking out loud to animals all my life, and kind of interpreting for them too. In the household, I used to interpret for the cats and tell my parents what they were saying. Um, and I thought that I was just reading their behavioral cues and things. But I would say, Mitten says this, and Beetle says this. And sometimes people watching me would join in, and they would try it too. And they'd say, she says such and such. And I'd look at them and think, that's not what the cat is saying. How do you? But they, so I was probably picking up on some cues that other people were just not tuning into. But I don't think I have any kind of extraordinary, I'm not like an Ellie or anything with an extraordinary childhood ability to really tune in and listen profoundly, I think. But I have been paying attention all my life. And once again, it was actually one of my old college friends who heard my cat Tigger and me communicating with each other, and we'd been living together for years and understood each other most of the time. So we were chatting. Tigger was very chatty, and we were chatting back and forth about something. And Scott listened to us, and he said, "Julie, you've got to watch this video," which was a video about an animal communicator. And I had never heard of such a thing, but I couldn't. Once I watched it, I thought, oh well, if that's not a big old hoax, then that would make some sense of something that's been sort of going on all my life, So I started paying attention, and I got the same kind of internal nudge that I had gotten to go to seminary. Like, this is your next step. You need to take this step next, and then see where it goes. And it didn't feel like it was replacing the old calling. It felt like it was adding to it.
No, I love that so much. I'd be curious to know how many people here on the call grew up with a religious background, and did the church or the synagogue or the temple take animal communication seriously? And so I'd love to hear for you what you think. I mean, of course, we're in an age where, I mean, I grew up very Catholic and went to a Catholic girls' school, mass on Fridays minimum, if not every day. And we had moments where, in the 70s, the nuns got rid of their habits and wore these really ugly 70s outfits. But, I've fought with the nuns at age 6, first grade, about animals having souls, and that animals had to go to heaven, or what was the point? I mean, it was a literal fight with Sister Clementi. So, and of course it didn't end well, because I was the freak in the back of the room. Then if I got in big trouble, had to sit in the back of the room defending animals against nuns.
Oh my gosh.
And now the Pope says that animals have souls, and of course they're going to heaven, but that's after the damage has been done.
Right.
So love to see if other people have a little damage around animals and religion, and I would love, because I would think it's a really important topic. So what, in your Christian world, how accepted is animal communication?
I think at least most of the Lutherans I know have never heard of it. So there isn't an opinion one way or another. Um, but I have just, maybe because of who I am in the world, I have tended to hang out with a lot of Lutherans who are animal lovers. And um, and the lovely thing, one of the lovely things about, my particular denomination in Protestantism is there is no official church position on things until the members of the church have gotten together in assembly and considered a statement together and discussed it and voted on it and whatever, and then it's only a guideline. Um, and then our presiding bishop is allowed to make comments about that particular topic and so forth. So it's not a top-down kind of a structure, which I like a lot. And so there's kind of a variety of viewpoints and positions. But I've been hanging out with folks who love animals and who are very invested in the idea that their animals go to heaven, and but have asked me about it, have asked the pastors about it, and we've preached sermons about it, and so on. And then, as you know, we had a church cat here in the Napa congregation for a number of years who really took his ministry seriously and would greet everybody who arrived on a Sunday morning on their way in, and then would sort of make sweeps through the sanctuary during worship and check in with people, and would interrupt the sermon from time to time, or would help to play the music. He was very involved in the music. It was one of his favorite things, and so he would sit with the band. And anyway, he was just beloved by the congregation. And so after he died last year, the interim, I had already finished my service to that congregation, but the interim pastor announced that as soon as they are able to regather in person, the second Sunday they're able to regather, they'll have a memorial service for Felix the church cat.
Felix the church cat, I remember very well.
Yeah.
So Yasmin, I would love for you to share what people have written in the comments.
Yes. Wow, there are a few here. So Laura Seeley said, I had the same argument with my nun teacher in high school, lots of laughs. Alison McElroy Benefield says she was raised Southern Baptist, and no, they do not believe in animal communication. They told me animals didn't go to heaven, so I lost interest.
Yeah.
Lorraine Bollinger says, oh my, the church we're currently attending has some folks that are sure I'm working with the devil. Diane Matthews grew up pretty religious, always talked to animals, and was told in college that there was no way animals have souls, which is why it's okay to exploit them in God's name.
This is the whole thing. That right there, Diane, to me, is why we don't want animal communication, right? Because between science and religion and the sacrifice in the past, and Julie, we'll get to this in a moment, there's no room for animal communication, because it would be like going to the factory farms and saying, how are you doing today, right? Science and religion are going to avoid the topic like crazy, because religion in the past. I mean, at least Julie's with a cool congregation. But anyway, keep going, Yasmin.
Mm-hmm. So then Loretta says, I love the saying that if heaven doesn't allow animals, I don't want to go there.
I'm with you.
Melissa Olbert says, grew up Catholic and talked to many animals since a child too. Got told by many, stop talking to them. Gaynor Merlino says, I was brought up in Catholicism, but decided, sorry, it's jumping, before confirmation that I didn't agree with a few things, so made a decision to trust my soul before anything man may try to teach me. Just
Good
my
for you,
personal
Dana.
experience.
Yeah, and I mean, I got kicked out of the
Yes.
Catholic girls' school, as you can well imagine. Eventually, I was pegged.
You were with the wrong nuns.
I was with the wrong nuns because I know there's really cool nuns. I actually
Yep.
there were cool nuns where I was. I mean, there were, but it was Sister Flick that just she and I. Anyway.
And I think that all of these things, they really reveal our idolatries. And that creeps in everywhere, in religion and everywhere else. We set up our own systems and our own things that we worship that are not divine love, right? Um, so I think what ends up getting worshipped instead, so often in a lot of forms of Christianity that get practiced, people are worshiping patriarchy. They aren't worshiping
And then it's
divine
the
love.
that took me straight out of the Catholic Church. I mean, there's things that I absolutely love about, you and I have talked about this. There are things that I love about Mass. There are things I love about the whole, the organization of Mass that you're walking through, that
The liturgy, yeah, yeah,
the
the
whole,
beautiful rhythms.
yeah.
Hmm.
And I love the Catholic calendar, and I
Yep,
love,
the church year and the whole thing. Yeah.
yeah, and I love that we say we say, I believe in all things seen and unseen. And so there's a whole pile of angels and saints in Catholic Church. So I was really, in many ways, there's a mysticism and a magic that got taken away by the patriarchy. That's what I feel.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and when I say patriarchy, I mean this, this system that puts men at the top of a pyramid, and in particular white men at the top of a pyramid. And then way down toward the bottom, you get women and
Women.
children, and then animals, and then dirt and grass and all that stuff. I mean, it's right behind my profile pic actually on Facebook right now. And what happens is, in order to, this is like an anthropological definition, in order to maintain your position in that pyramid, what's used is shaming and violence. So you got the shaming part to keep you down in your place.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this whole system around animals too. But this is part of the revolutionary thing about the Jesus I follow, is that he upset that whole order, which
Yeah.
is partly how he upset people enough to get himself killed, because he challenged just the
Everybody.
whole order and everybody and all of our idolatries at every turn. So, that's what's exciting to me at the heart of the religion, and is this sort of reforming message that's there. And there are a lot of people who've been working for decades, as you know, now in the church, but especially around creation, justice, and eco-spirituality, and our relationship with animals in the natural world in the last couple of decades, especially. And so in that church year that you like, with all
Mm-hmm.
of its seasons, we're in Lent right now, and then we'll be in the season of Easter and so on. So a new season has been introduced in the past number of years called the season of creation, because people realized that there's just really a big gap, and there's a lot with all of its teachings on domination and so forth that are distortions of the biblical message. There's a lot of healing work that the church has to do in itself, and then, in the world in general.
And in that healing work, I mean, I feel like one of the reasons the first time I interviewed you when you wanted to do the big program is I feel like you are going to be part of that healing work. And I would love in any way, shape, or form that the school could be part of that healing work, because I feel like it's so important. I mean, every step of the way, you look in the Bible and there's stories of sacrifice and, you know, like you said, this domination um, and violence. And there's a new, you know, I mean, there's a new way that's not new. I mean, it's not new. It wasn't.
No.
It wasn't
Yeah.
new. You know, it wasn't new. It's not new, but this emerging truth, if you will, then that can't be denied.
Yeah. Yeah. And it goes way back. I mean, you can find it um, in Genesis, even, you know, images of how everything is created good. And there are two different creation stories in Genesis. Some people aren't really aware of that, but there are two completely different ones there. And one of them is very, it's a very sort of, it puts the humans in a serving and tending role in terms of the creation. They're they're kind of farmers and tenders of the earth and responsible for caring for everything that's, you know, that they dwell with. So I think there are some theologians. Matthew Fox got silenced a few decades ago for speaking out about what he called original blessing instead of original sin. And I took a class from him in seminary. So,
Lucky.
you know, there's some really fascinating, and the liberation theologies that have been around for decades now, feminist and womanist theologies and other liberation theologies, especially from Latin America, have raised some. They've gone back over scripture and they've brought out some parts that have been ignored, you know, or misconstrued.
So, you know, I think of things that there are two things that always stick out that for me when I think of the Bible, because of course I relate everything back to my relationship with animals. And the first one is the meek shall inherit the earth. And I would,
Right.
I mean, that's us right here working toward that. And then the other that just, and I know it's some Bibles, it's not the lion, but this is like in my heart of hearts. I know that like our friend Ellie has a certain prayer she does every day about, you know, the world peace and vegan, but I have a different prayer, and that's a little bit about the lion laying down with the lamb. And I would love, and in different Bibles it's a different large animal. I'd love to hear your take on that.
Yeah, well, so that is that's in Isaiah, I believe. I got that right, everybody. I'm not a Baptist. I don't always get my scripture quotes right, but I can find them. But that's an image of, well, what Jesus would call, that's an Hebrew scriptures image of what if Jesus as an interpreter and reformer would call the kingdom of God is usually how we say it. I usually say the kingdom of God because I'm not big on all those the masculinization of things, and I think he was all about creating relationship. So kingdom says it better for me. But anyway, this this healing of all the relationships in creation and this restoring of harmony, it's an image of shalom, which is something beyond our usual concept of peace. It's where right relationship is restored and there's justice for every creature, and every creature has what it needs, and all are responding in mercy and in this old lovely Hebrew word chesed, which is this mutuality of love flowing between the divine and all of creation. So, so that's one of those beautiful images that's held out as God's loving desire for the whole world.
Yeah.
And we are intended to live that out together and to live in such a way that we move toward that together.
that right there. That's what I pray for every morning, right
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
in right relationship with each other and all life. Yeah,
And that's, the relationship thing. When when I talk about spirituality with people, my definition of it is, for me at least, spirituality is whatever practices make you more aware of your deep connection with all that is. And so that, in that sense, animal communication is part of my spiritual practice now,
yeah,
because it makes me more deeply aware of my connectedness that I knew in my head was already there with everything that exists. But now I get to kind of experience it in my body, and
right.
and I'm excited about that because I know so many people who have deep, caring hearts, and they care so much about the world. And when they think about all the damage we've done and just, the current situation in creation, kind of, they get despairing, they feel despairing, and they get a bit frozen. And I do too sometimes. But it seems like these connections that we have with the animals we love
Yeah,
might be a little sort of an avenue into unfreezing ourselves, you know, that that through my connection of delight with this animal who shares my life already, maybe I can begin to understand in a new way my connectedness with everything else that is, and start to live that out in all of my decisions and choices on a daily basis.
amen.
Um, yeah.
We're gonna run out of time here. So does anyone have any questions for Julie? And Julie, maybe you can go through the thread. I know you've got class. I can't, you're in the 11, but
Yeah.
after afternoon, you can go through, and you completed all your case studies and are about to start. You're just up and running, right? Or you've got a couple more to go. Where are you with everything?
I'm all done with the animal communication case studies. I mean, but I keep taking, new folks for free practice because I want more practice. And then I'm about to start the EFT tapping and scalar wave case studies. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I saw a comment a little while back about the masculine stuff in religion, and I'm with you, whoever that is. That's a real struggle for me. So yeah, I'm all for Mother God and um, Mother Goddess and a bunch of stuff like that. I have a little bit of a sympathy for my pagan and Wiccan siblings in the world. I think they have a lot of insights that have been rejected by the church, but are
Well,
loving.
they're taken by the church, right? Because the Catholic calendar is really pretty similar
Yeah,
to the pagan calendar.
that's right. They were not dumb marketing wise, those early
No.
Christians.
And they used the light wisely, and they used all the cycles well. The reason I like the Catholic calendar is, to me, it's very pagan.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what I mean, I just think, and what is pagan? The word pagan means it refers to the country folk,
Hmm.
so it's really the sort of natural religion of country people, and there's a lot of wisdom in that, I think. So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, I told everyone that I was going to be a Catholic witch, and it didn't go.
Yep, yep. Yeah, I teach the young people I teach when I talk about, and when I was a jail chaplain, we would talk about the spirituality of world religions, and I would teach them a little bit about world religions. And I always taught as best I could about Wicca from my limited knowledge, and taught them not to, uh, reject people who called themselves witches, because everybody has a gift to share, I think.
Yeah. Any questions? Do you see any questions popping up, Yasmin?
They're just comments, not so many questions, but you did mention that Julie's going to go back through the thread and answer people.
And I'm seeing this, the divine masculine that Laura Seeley, I mean,
Yeah.
I love, I can't read the whole thing because if I touch it, I'll knock
I
everything.
can, and I agree, Laura. Yeah.
I agree too, that the divine masculine, you know, I mean, I think that another thing that happened to me when I was a kid was I would perform mass for the whole neighborhood, and then my mother wanted that I couldn't be a priest, and I was depressed for like a week, and my mother knew at like age 6 she had a hardcore feminist on her hands. So,
Yep.
but the idea of the principle of the female divine, you know, that energy isn't like saying, oh, look, we've been repressed. It's like, no, let's go. Let's grab our divine male that has that protective, loving energy. And let's look at what we could do now together. It isn't just the female divine. It's let's work together.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, and try
And
to
that,
heal the distortions that have taken place to both, right? Try to try to make room for healing of all of that.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and fascination and curiosity, I think, Shelley. Fascination and curiosity and wonder um, are key to this whole process um, of connecting, reconnecting with the world and of healing.
yeah. I mean, obviously we have to have you back because this topic is hitting, is really touching people. And
Yeah, maybe we can get my phone to work next time.
yeah, yeah, we will. Um, we'll put some cute pictures of you up, and I'm so grateful we got you on, and that this is such a delicious topic for me and clearly for everybody, and it's so healing because this is to me where the modern church is going to go, right? It's going to be inclusive, including animals. It's going to be I mean, it's the only way it's going to survive. Otherwise, it's going to be a dinosaur. I mean, we're watching every foundational thing we know just kind of crashing and collapsing. And,
hmm
um, you know, the only way the church will survive is if it, you know, it evolves.
hmm Right, right. We have to be less invested in the institution, I think, and more in just pouring our hearts out in loving service to the world. So, yeah. And I keep coming back to the Bible verse that says, perfect love drives out fear.
Mm.
So whenever I encounter a spirit of fear, whether it's fear of animal communication or something else, I just think, well, that's something that hasn't been healed yet. That's something that needs a lot of loving attention. So.
Yeah. And we're doing it. We've got this whole big group here doing it.
There's so many beautiful comments. Julie, you have to go back and read if you can't now, but Robin says, thank you for coming. I admire, oh my God, it just jumped. Thank you for coming. I admire everything that you're doing. Lena Chera, thank you, Julie. Yes, I admire everything you're doing. I've been thinking about that too. It's all about love. This is such a healing topic. I'm grateful to have been here. My dream is being fulfilled. If you have come up with any ahas, please let me know. Just so many amazing comments about this topic, which is so thrilling and wonderful to discuss.
I love it. I mean, it's why I was so excited. I ran around probably for a week. We have a pastor in the school. We have a pastor in the school. We have a pastor.
And you know, I know we have to go, but I'm in pet chaplain training right now, as you know, and there's another pastor in that training with me, more than one who are involved in pastoral ministry and one who's an ordained Episcopal priest. And then there's somebody else in the pet chaplain training who is training as an animal communicator, just starting out as well. So I'm kind of excited about the connections that are starting.
Yes, absolutely. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for waiting for me to get on. I'm sorry about all the fuss.
You know what? It's always an adventure here.
Thank you, Joan, so much. This is really fun for me.
Thank you.